we were to define this year's Met Gala with just 5 looks, what would they be? Cuckoo, my name is Anastasia and welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we are gonna be talking about none other than Met Gala, and for the occasion, I don't usually do it, but I really wanted to. I've put out one of my most treasured dresses. Also, this is probably the only piece with flowers, like any kind of flowers I own. I'm not exactly a flower girly, but anyway, I got this beauty from the vintage store. It is by the Sublime Valentina. I believe used to have, I don't think they do it anymore. It was called Rat, so it's vintage, it's thrifted, it has flowers in it, and it's also pretty melancholic. I think I'm on theme enough to be having this discussion with you. Ooh, also, these earrings, which are not actually earrings, those are the clips I got just 2 days ago from the vintage store here in Belgrade, and I'm very excited to be wearing those for, I believe, the first time too. Anyway, back to the Met Gala. I didn't really want to do another first impressions or just talking a little bit about a lot of the looks because I kind of already did it on my shorts. So in case you're interested, you know where to find them. There are too many parts, but I will link some of the most viewed, hence probably the most interesting ones, down in the description below. So instead I've decided to go on a little bit more narrow and deeper pass, so to say. So I have selected 5 outfits that I think would be remembered years after this Met Gala, and those outfits would be like the ones to define this Met Gala 2024. Starting with an absolute favorite of mine and probably the most interesting outfit of the whole Met Gala, and shocker, I know it's not gonna be Zendaya. This is gonna be Tyla. So as you probably already know, she's wearing custom Balmain in here, and in the interview she did for, I believe it was, the one on the red carpet with Vogue, or maybe it was her Get Ready With Me with Allure, but anyway, they wanted to be thinking a little bit more out of the box than just going for, the flowers of garden or the clock for the time. And I haven't mentioned it, but I believe once again at this point of time everybody knows that the theme for the Met Gala 24 was Garden of Time, and it is after a poem. But is about a decay of aristocracy as a class, also about how time is an inevitable force, and no matter the money you have and the miracles you have, it will come and claim you. So as I was saying, she mentioned that they've decided to be thinking out of the box, and I mean, it clearly shows. And I personally think that this is probably the most interesting interpretation of this year's theme. It's not quite on the nose, but again, it's recognizable enough so that people wouldn't be looking at it and being like, is she even on theme? Is she not? Because I feel like that is something that happens a lot with the Met Gala outfits, is that sometimes celebrities and their stylists go a little bit too in depth, so it's kind of impossible to get if they're on theme or not without the interviews. But yeah, obviously the reference here is not an exactly like a clock mechanism for the time, but instead a sense of time, sense of hourglass. She even has this little hourglass shaped box, just in case not everyone understood the reference, that would be like a dead giveaway. Also, her stylist mentioned in the interview that Olivier Stang, the creative director of Balmain, as well as the designer team, developed this new technique which allowed them to make fabric out of sand, which was the starting point for creating this outfit for Tyla. So yes, people, it's like an actual sand, but it is also mixed with micro crystals for a little bit more of a glow and probably a little bit more of dimension too. I also really love that they took the dress into the makeup and into her hair, also into her body makeup. It's genius. I feel like creativity was really lacking out of the makeups on the red carpet this year, but yeah, she was working with Pat McGrath. She couldn't really be expecting anything less. Also, one of my favorite videos of the night is how she literally couldn't walk, and she couldn't even be, infamous Kim Kardashian jump up the stairs because she had this huge tran around her. So basically there were 4 people relocating her up the stairs as she was walking the red carpet. This was hilarious. And in the end of the red carpet, Olivia Rostand cut her dress to the mini length so that she could actually, be sitting in it. Oh, speaking of Olivia Rostand, he also had a matchy sandy look. Well, it wasn't full head to toe sans because he wasn't the star, Tyla was, but he wore a little sandy corset. I thought it's top, but then I read on the Balmain account that it was actually a corset with otherwise, generally recognizable Balmain suit, or Balmain silhouette suit. Anyway, moving on to Zendaya, who wore not one but two looks, icon, legend, and I believe it never actually really happened before. Like, obviously, we had like the performances from Lady Gaga or the camp Met Gala, or someone also did it last year in Tom Browne. It wasn't anything like that, but she actually walked red carpet with two different outfits, two different headpieces, two different makeup looks. This is already something that would go down in the Met history. Anyway, let's break down the looks. So this one at first I thought is an archival Dior piece because it obviously looked like the actual outfit from the Couture Spring Summer 1999 collection created for the brand by John Galliano, but no. This dress is actually custom Maison Margiela by John Galliano, which is recreating the above mentioned Christian Dior 1999 design. The headpiece wasn't a part of the original look. It's a little bit of an addition created by Philip Tracy. It was obviously styled by Low Road because who else? She's giving Disney villain, she's giving Hunger Games capital fashion. What I like about this look are the grapes, like the corseted bodice. It has this very beautiful kind of deep green shade of color layered somewhere under it. I also like the little bird. It seems to be a mockingjay, which would probably add to the Hunger Game reference, but I do not have ornithologist knowledge base, so couldn't be sure about that. What I do not like about this look is basically everything else. I just generally am not a fan of the dress. It's a little bit too much of a costume and not quite enough fashion for me. But with that being said, let's move on to her second outfit. And this one is not an inspired but an actual archival look from Givenchy Spring 1996 couture. It was also designed by Galliano, and if I remember correctly, that would probably also mean that this was like his first collection designed by Givenchy, because if it is spring 1996, that means it was shown somewhere around the January of 1996, and Galliano was only announced the creative director of Givenchy during the summer 1995. Inspector Gadget regime was activated. Anyway, the headpiece she's wearing though is not from that look. It is, I believe, also like an up-to-date recreation by Philip Tracy, but it is actually recreating a headpiece from the Alexander McQueen, like designed by Lee McQueen collection from Spring Summer 2007. I love this one much more. I love how medieval it looks. I love the grand campiness of the headpiece, and in this outfit, like, I see more fashion than I see costume, which was my issue with the first one. But we are moving on to the third person in this little review of ours, and that would be Lana Del Ray. So the queen here is wearing custom Alexander McQueen, referencing an archival look, once again created by Lee McQueen himself for his fall-winter 2006 collection. You know, the collection which started with the hologram of Kate Moss, all this jazz. And according to the Vogue article, like the review one about this collection, amongst the other inspirations and references, there was Lady Macbeth. So I feel like it adds a little bit of a very niche and very subtle point in case for the theme, or like the fashion gigs. But once again, we're talking about Met Gala in a detail. Who would even be here if not fashion geeks? But yeah, as you can probably tell, this one looks a little bit more different. It was adapted to be more on theme, and Sean McGeer, who is the current creative director of Alexander McQueen, mentioned in the interview that their interpretation was about more sinister aspects of nature. With that being said, the thorns, and those are not just any thorns, those are bronze-hammered bullion hawthorn branches, which were actually inspired by Alberto Giacometti's sculptures, which I didn't know about him before, but then I've googled, and yes, I can say that the reference is there. Her headpiece was handmade out of natural hawthorn branches too, and she was wearing hoof boots, which is controversial, but I really like it. It kind of helps to play into this whole sinister nature, nymph of the woods kind of vibe. I like it. I also have a very strict association with the True Detective TV series, like the first season in particular. Hence, the whole outfit looks even more macabre to me. I also feel like we can draw also same kind of parallels between this look and the preview, like a little clip, fashion clip preview for Sean McGear work in Alexander McQueen. You know, this one with the masks and people with long hair and all the jazz. Moving on to yet another personal favorite of mine, Gigi Hadid in Custom Tom Browne. And this is actually like two dresses in one. The dress she spent the actual event in and the after party actually looks like this, and then what she walked the carpet in, this is like the extra skirt. This look was styled by Mimi Cottrell, icon, and in terms of the numbers, they're kind of crazy. Like, it took 20 people 5,000 hours to embroider the dress, and when I'm saying the dress, I mean just this version, and it took 40 more people 8,500 hours to do the skirt. In general, 70 people worked on this dress, and you know, once again, it was one of the points of the exhibition to celebrate the craftsmanship and the people behind the garments. Well, I feel like this is the point of any exhibition that MET creates, because those are generally about clothing, and fashion are about craftsmanship, but anyway. The roses on this dress are yellow not just by any case, but because it's Gigi's favorite color, which I find it like a cute personal detail. And well, yeah, obviously roses are for the glass flowers of the garden, in the Garden of Time. She also had like little yellow 3D roses on her nails, and I believe I saw videos of her giving away like yellow roses to just people in front of her hotel before she headed to the Met, which once again, cute. Very cute. Also, like, if you don't know, Gigi makes her own annual Met Monday video vlogs, and I am living for them. They're so cute, they're so authentic in comparison to what Vogue, Elle, Allure, or whatever other magazines are providing. So yeah, if you have like 1 free minute of your time and you want to see something beautiful and special and Met related, it's on her Instagram. With that being said, we have finally reached the final outfit, and that is something that would probably go down in history as the clock outfit or Dali outfit or whatever, but we're talking about Sabrina Harrison here. And I didn't know who she is before the Met Gala, or to be more exact, before she wore this particular outfit to the Met Gala, but according to her Linktree, she's an entrepreneur, creative director of Mint Dentistry, and also oversees multiple other assets of said dentist business, which earned her a place in Vogue 100, which is like an annually updated list business innovators, and that is probably why she was invited to the Met Gala too. She also is a president of True Music Label, which she co-founded with her husband. Yeah, now that we have an overall picture of who we are talking about here, let's move on to her outfit, which is Custom Chris Habana. And we know about Custom Chris Habana, and how do we know about Custom Chris Habana, you might ask me? Well, the pieces designed by the brand are, to be more particular, headpieces or some jewelry pieces, were seen multiple times on the red carpet of the Met Gala in particular. Also, Beyonce wore them for her Renaissance album, and if you have seen Bella Hadid in this kind of robotic helmet, that was also Chris Habana. Ooh, and that is already like an aftermath, but I mean, I'm filming this video like 2 weeks after the Met anyway, so might as well mention that. Those feathery headpieces that Tyla is posing with for Numero Netherlands are also Chris Habana. However, as you have probably already caught on, they are usually operating in the realm of headpieces, and this is actually their first experience of creating the whole head-to-toe custom outfit. And I personally think that they made a far better job than Swarovski, who presented us with 4 different looks during the Met Gala, and the looks were gorgeous, the lady looked gorgeous, the story behind the looks were nice, but why have we decided not to go on theme to the theme party is a whole other question. It's not what we're talking about here today. As you have probably already realized, one of the main inspirations behind this dress was Dali's painting from 1931, which is called The Persistence of Memory, but is also kind of commonly known as, you know, the melting clocks. They also, like on the Chris Habana Instagram mentioned Victor Vasserly amongst the other inspirations, and I presume they were referencing his alpha clock sculpture, but this information is unconfirmed because they didn't say anything else other than naming Vasserly among the inspirations. So this is me just speculating here. Like, what I love about this look is attention to details. Even her headpiece actually looks like a clock mechanism. And she also had gloves, but she didn't wear it to the red carpet, but I will still show them to you because they're gorgeous and they deserve their attention. And another thing that deserves your attention is her a little bag, and it reminds me of a time capsule, you know, the things that you put something inside a capsule and then you close the capsule, and then the capsule is to be opened like 100 years into the future or something. And this kind of looks like that, but then the capsule exploded, and what we see inside is an iPhone 15, which also had a custom Chris Cabana clock inspired phone case on it, which is, I told you, the attention to details is crazy. And this iPhone displayed custom videos created by Nolan Kisser, who is a fiance of one of two stylists who work on this look. I haven't mentioned them yet. That would be a ground bomb for the end of this video. The iPhone showed like the previous Met Gala looks, and they didn't specify which previous Met Gala looks, but I personally feel like it would make a lot of sense to only show the looks featuring Chris Habana pieces, because why would you be showing just any Met Gala looks? There are too many anyway. Creative concept belonged to Sabrina herself, which, you know, we applaud because it's her first Met Gala and she made it to the tops, she made it to the history. People are talking about her even though she's not like a grand celebrity, and the majority of the fashion people do not know who she is. Yeah, the grand bomb that I have promised you. Two stylists worked on this look along with Sabrina, the first one being Carlos Alonso Parada, and the second one was La Roche, who haven't mentioned this little itty bitty fact anywhere on his social media, which is well, something that La Roche does a lot, to be completely honest, so it's not exactly out of the box for him. But yes, ladies and gentlemen, with that we came to the end of this video. I'm not gonna be doing favorites because basically this whole video was about my Met Gala 2024 favorites, so I'll just say that if you have enjoyed this video and you want to share your support for me, I would very much so appreciate it if you can subscribe to this video, leave me a like. Also, you can check out my other social medias if you like the vibes, and other than that, I'll see you in the next one, so bye bye.